the home of the Tigers since 2000, Comerica Park here in the Motor City. Today, the finale of this three-game weekend set. It's the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers. John Shambi and Chris Singleton with you. Well, Singy, as we come into this one, it's all about the sweep.
Yeah, and anytime there's a chance for the brooms to come out, the pressure is definitely on. We'll see if they can find a way to salvage at least one in this series.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Getting the nod in this one, Framber Valdez. How about a report on him, Chris?
Try to stay back for that power changeup. Speed differential between the fastball and the changeup is huge. Hitters, they have a hard time staying back.
All right, ready to go here. Here's George Springer.
For Toronto, the right fielder, number 4, George Springer.
On a line out towards center. Meadows takes it in for the out. One up, one down. Let's take a look at our lineup. And the challenge for this lineup today, Singy, finding a way to have success against the sinker ball.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch to hit, Boog, and even harder to elevate. Got to set your sights a little bit higher when you're at the dish. They're struggling with it. I'd expect them to make some type of adjustment. It won't take long to see how well that sinker is working today.
That smash towards center. 2 down.
Batting third, the catcher, Alejandro.
2 down, base is empty. And here's the catcher, Alejandro Kirk. Shoots a line drive single into right center. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
Good start for him to this ball game tonight. And I always talk about get a knock in your first at bat. It just makes your confidence at such a higher level for the potential of having a big night.
And now it's Dalton Varsho. Late with the swing there. The 1-2. Swing, and he breaks his bat. Grabs it barehanded to first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
Did a nice job getting there. Good throw, but very difficult to get anybody on that one as far as you had to go and throw. You know? Yeah, no question.
First and second, 2 outs. Kazuma Okamoto next up for the Blue Jays.
Well, the best way to shake off yesterday's struggles is to get on the board early. They've got a guy in scoring position. They've got to find a way here to get him in.
Swung on, belted. Carrying well. Into the bullpen and gone. He'll touch them all. It's his 6th home run of the season. The Blue Jays on the board first. It's 3-0.
You can't ask for a better start than hitting a home run in your first at bat to give your team the lead.
A breaking ball on the inside part of the plate requires a hitter to stay really square with his mechanics. If you fly open with the front shoulder, there's no way you keep that ball fair. An outstanding job mechanically. He deserves that home run.
So up next, Ernie Clement. Curve, hit right back to him. Handles, throws to first. That ends the inning. This homer cuts into Toronto's deficit. It's now 3-0. Back at Comerica Park. And the starter for Toronto, Dylan Cease. Chris, it's a little more common these days, but still, he's a strikeout per inning type of guy.
Well, I hear you about the strikeouts. A lot more guys striking out today, but when you consider having the ability to get that strikeout, particularly when you needed a man on third, less than 2 outs, situations where, yeah, maybe you're not a real high strikeout guy, but just knowing you have the swing and miss stuff in a big spot, I think it's real critical, and he's got it.
Ground ball, Vlad Jr. He steps on the bag, One gone, bottom half of the first.
Second, the left fielder,
Let's take a
number
check of the
31.
Tigers lineup. And this offense is really clicking right now, Chris.
That's a good feeling in that dugout over there. You feel like when you walk to the plate, you're going to get a knock. You're going to drive in a run. You're going to do something productive, even if it's just get a walk to keep the line moving. And that's a great feeling to have. They've got it bottled right now.
Late on that fastball. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Batting third, the right fielder, number 30,
Kerry Carpenter up now for the Tigers. 2 down, nobody on. Right through there for a strike. So here in the 3 spot, Chris, a hitter low average but high slug.
Well, one thing he's going to lean on are the metrics. His exit velocity has been really good. He's just had some bad luck hitting the ball right at people.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. The 1-2. Battling here as he fouls it away. And he can't come up with it. Still finds a way to get off a throw there with plenty of time, and that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Detroit. They trail in this one 3-0. All set for the start of the inning. Now it's the Toronto designated hitter, Davis Schneider. Schneider launched a homer in his most recent game. And a 1-1. To the right side, McKinstry slings to first and quickly one away in the second.
That's what a good sinker's designed to do. Get a guy to roll over a little bit, hit the ball on the ground, kill some worms while you're at it.
Miles Straw getting ready to hit. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Well, they call that an advantage count for a reason. You're so much more likely to get something you can handle. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Here's Andres Jimenez. On the ground, right side. McKinstry tosses to first, and there's 2 down.
Up next to the Blue Jays, the right fielder, number 4, George.
Back to the leadoff spot in the Blue Jays lineup. George Springer, the next to hit. Runner at second, 2 down. Here at the top of the second. Out to center. Meadows on his way over. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. 1 hit, 1 left. Down to the bottom of the second. It's the Blue Jays 3 and the Tigers nothing. Back here in Detroit, bottom of the inning. Spencer Torkelson up now for the Tigers. Torkelson with a homer in his last game. And a swing and a miss. There's that slider. Goes down looking.
Well executed pitch on the outside part of the plate.
Here's the catcher, Dylan Dingler. The 2-1. And a big swing and a miss. That one lifted to left. Straw should have this one. And there's 2 away.
Batting 6, the third baseman, Colt Keith.
Now it's going to be Colt Keith. 2 down, nobody on. And right back to the mound. Gets him easily, ends the inning. Tigers are shut down there. They trail it here 3-0. Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league. On the ground to third. Throw on to Torkelson. Leadoff hitter gone in the third.
Well, a well-thrown slider like that one can be tough to get in the air. Good downward break on that one.
In steps the man they call Captain Kirk. 1-1 now. That one ripped, and that's got extra bases written all over it. Safely into second. He's got a double. Well, Singy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving in full speed, and everybody is a step or two behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
Here's the center fielder, Dalton Varsho. Man at second. In the dirt. Out towards right center. That's well struck. Way back there. It's got a chance. Just shy of the wall. Now a relay to second.
Up next to the Blue Jays, the third baseman.
And here's a look at how he's using his pitches in this one. Now the third baseman, Kazuma Okamoto. Man on second, 2 down. And now 1 and 2. Rip towards third. Throw on to Torkelson. And that is that. Blue Jays held in check, but they lead at 3-0. And we're back with all eyes on a potential sweep. Keep the brooms in the closet for now, though, Singy.
Well, they say the hardest game to win is the final one, and we can see why, Boo. The desperate team tends to come out swinging, and that's what we've seen today.
Next offering in there for a strike. That's strike 2. Okamoto. On to first. 1 gone, bottom of the third inning.
Batting 8, the shortstop, Javier Baez.
Now it's Javier Baez. That one back up the middle, and it gets through. So a man aboard now with 1 away.
Batting 9, the center fielder,
Parker Meadows will hit next.
Boom, this guy's just a tremendously talented center fielder. Gold Glove caliber type out there. Offensively, he can do some things, but he also has some streakiness as well. I think the key is just trying to find a way for him to be consistent day in and day out. You know, he saves runs in the outfield, so that's going to buy him more time to work things out at the dish.
Stays alive. And he grounds one to the right side to Jimenez. What a double play that was. Inning over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. 3 innings complete. It's the Blue Jays 3 and the Tigers nothing. Back at Comerica Park. And now for the Jays, Ernie Clement. Out to short. Baez fires over to first. And one gone in the fourth as they get the leadoff man.
Good fade and sinking action to that changeup. Got that hitter to roll over.
Davis Schneider next up for the Blue Jays. Chris, he's been one of the most powerful hitters in baseball this year. His home run numbers are good enough to put him top 5 in the league. Fouls one off. 2-2. Lifted in the air, right center field. Carpenter gets under it. 2 away.
Up next to the Blue Jays, the left fielder, number 3, Miles.
So up next for Toronto, Miles Straw. 2 down, nobody on. This one in the air, center field. Meadows under it, and that is that. Nothing doing here this half. On now to the bottom of the fourth. It's the Blue Jays 3 and the Tigers nothing. Thanks for tuning in. Sweep warning, Singy. Sweep warning.
Not so fast, though. Seeing quite the battle so far. It's always toughest to close out a series because pride kicks in on the other side.
1-2 now. Swings and misses, struck him out.
Definitely made him chase a little bit out of the zone right there. I don't think that's a strike if he takes it. Pretty textbook pitching. Get ahead in the count, get the guy in the box on his heels, and then force him to chase your pitch where he doesn't have much of a chance to do any damage.
A little bit low.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
The Tigers trailing by 3. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. Hard ground ball, base knock. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Up next,
dominant performance for him today, Boone. Just 2 hits allowed so far, no runs across either, and he's had an answer for just about every hitter he's faced. So I don't think this hit is going to knock him off his stride too much.
In the dirt, blocked, and the runner stays where he is. Just a slow ground ball this time. Fires over to Guerrero, and that's an out.
Up next to the Tigers, the first baseman,
Spencer Torkelson up now for the Tigers. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Clearly he was sitting on a fastball right there. It just ended up out in front of the slider. Hey, you can't fault him for his commitment. Now he's just going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
Ground ball off the middle. That's a base hit. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score easily. It's an RBI single, and they cut the lead to 2.
Well done. Narrows the deficit with the RBI there. Timing on the swing was good. Able to shoot the ball up the middle. Didn't square up as much as he probably would have liked, but that's a good approach paying off.
Here's the catcher to hit, Dylan Dingler. Swing and a bouncer, Clement. Out with room to spare, and that's the inning. But the RBI single pushes across a run. It's now a 3-1 ball game. We go to the top of the 5th, and now for the Jays, Andres Jimenez. The 1-1 is fouled off. Foul ball, still a 1-2 count. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Up next to the Blue Jays.
Back to the top of the lineup, and it'll be George Springer to step to the plate. Grounder might be 2. Fired to second, and that's 2.
Oh, man, what a smooth double play. That was a thing of beauty from start to finish.
Base is empty after the double play. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now. Two down, nobody on. Movement in the bullpen. Brant Hurt, the left-handed reliever, appears to be getting loose. Number 75 getting loose as well. 2-2 now. Foul ball left side. He'll see another. And that's a fair ball. Around first and hustling for second. He's there. It's a 2-out double.
Well, here we are, third time through the order, and this is where we see the OPS jump up. Manager might have to go to the bullpen a little bit sooner than he anticipated.
Here's the catcher, Alejandro Kirk. Man at second. Ground ball, and that's through the infield. Vladdy coming around third. He'll score. It's an RBI single, and they take a 3-run lead.
Comes through with the RBI. I know that was a ground ball, but it was absolutely hammered through the infield. That's not one you're excited to get in front of if you're an infielder. You know they used to say, charge it. Crazy.
2 outs, runner at first. And now the center fielder, Dalton Varsho. Hit on the ground to short. And that's the 3rd out. So 1 run in the inning on this base hit. It's now a 4-1 ball game. Welcome back as we take a look at how today's starting pitchers have fared so far.
Well, these Tigers, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Takes it himself, and the leadoff hitter retired in the 5th.
Tigers, the second baseman, Zach McKinstry.
Now it's the second baseman, Zach McKinstry. Base hit up the middle. So a man aboard now with 1 away.
Up next for the Tigers,
Elmago coming to the dish. Ball to strike. High fly ball lifted into the air right field. 2 down.
Up next for the Tigers, the center fielder,
Parker Meadows now at the plate. Swing and a ball popped in the air. And that'll get down for a hit. And now 2 aboard.
Definitely found a perfect spot. Those could be hard sometimes. We talked about in left field. You're kind of anticipating cheating in for a ball. Hit something like that you can rob a little soft flare in front of you. But perfectly placed, so you reward the hitter with it. Could be some action here on this next pitch. Couple runners on. Probably a challenge pitch coming.
First and second, 2 down. Last half of inning number 5. This one in the air center field. Varsho settles underneath it. And that's the 3rd out. A couple of hits in the inning, but they can't get him home. We're through 5. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Tigers 1. welcome back a few highlights to help tell the story of the game.
Like I wasn't the one you was holding that night, telling all of your secrets and hood. Guess you right, it's too good to be true. Was the point, all I needed was you. But time after time, I just fussing and fighting each time that you do what you do. And it's cool. Mama said it was fish in the sea, I got lost in the pool. Knew it was coming, I watched how you move, how you turn your back on me and leave me to lose. Remember the text, how you said that you do, said that you never leave, we will fight till it's through.
Kazuma Okamoto getting ready to hit.
Kazuma Okamoto.
Left field. And that'll fall for a base hit. And the leadoff man aboard.
The batter, number 22, second baseman.
Now, Ernie Clement. In the dirt. Okamoto into scoring position on the wild pitch. And there goes the double play possibility. Man at second. Throw on to Torkelson. Now one gone in the top of the sixth.
Up next for the Blue Jays, the designated hitter, Davis.
And next for Toronto, Davis Schneider.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
Got him swinging. Now 2 out. And stepping in is the speedy Miles Straw. Man on second, 2 down.
Well, the good thing so far is that he hasn't issued any free passes. Unfortunately, they're making pretty good contact. So not getting the swings and misses and making that defense work behind him.
Here's a 2-1. Way out front for strike 2. Here's a high fly ball out to center. Meadows has a beat on it. And that'll do it. One left for Toronto, but they lead it 4-1. Back here in Detroit, ready to go for the last half of the inning. Riley Green up now for the Tigers. There's a swing and a drive. That one carrying. Bangs off the wall. Not stopping. He's going for 3. The relay throw. The tag, and he's out trying for 3.
Really nice job of hitting right there, but you've got to be a better base runner than that and understand the situation. With nobody out, you've got to be able to shut it down, stay at second, keep yourself in scoring position instead of killing a potential rally.
Kerry Carpenter digs in now. That missed by a lot. And that's ball 2. The Tigers trailing by 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a ball lifted in the air left field. Pretty well struck. Straw going back. Pulls it in on the warning track.
Up next for the Tigers, the first baseman, Spencer.
Here comes Torque to the plate. 2 down, nobody on. Swings and misses. And a count 1-2.
Just an outstanding job of spinning the baseball, moving it around, doing what he does.
On the ground. Fires over to Guerrero. Inning over. Tigers fail to make any noise, and they trail it 4-1. Back at Comerica Park, we go to the top of the 7th. Well, he's been knocked around pretty good so far, but they've got him back out there at least to begin the inning.
Yeah, and you wonder just the strength and perhaps the health of that bullpen for him to go back out there. But he's taking this one for the team. Perhaps he can stabilize things and the offense can score some runs for him.
Whips it to first. That's the first out, the top of the 7th.
Good sinker low in the zone right there and produced exactly what he was looking for. Ball on the ground, nice ground out.
Now George Springer at the plate. Springer, who statistically has turned out to be one of the greatest postseason performers of all time when you look at his OPS in playoff games. The 1-2. On the ground to third. Throw on to Torkelson. Great pick. They get out number 2 on a tough play.
Great job from the first baseman to get a little dirty on the play for the catch. Just because it looked easy, that doesn't mean it was.
Two outs, base is empty. Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And that's in there at the knees for a strike. Got him. Out number 3. 1-2-3 go the Blue Jays as they hold on to a 4-1 lead.
Now,
We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. Tyler Rogers. He pitched yesterday, and we'll see him once again. Welcome back. The sweep is still in play, but they'll need a late rally to make that happen, Singy.
This is when you find out a lot about a club's makeup, Boog. Fight, focus, and how badly they want it. Of course, I'm talking about both sides.
Strike 2. On the ground to first. Guerrero steps on the bag, and the leadoff hitter set down to open the 7th. Here's the third baseman, Colt Keith. The 1-1. On the ground to short, Jimenez. And they get the out.
That's a huge defensive play in the late stages of the game. It might not be the most challenging we've seen today, but it needed to be made. That's helping your team.
Zach McKinstry, the next to hit. 2 down, nobody on. Here, the bottom of the 7th. Ground ball left side, and that's just foul. On a line, base hit. And Javier Baez with a chance to make an impact with 2 away.
For the Tigers,
Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that.
So here's Baez now. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. So 1 hit is all they get. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Tigers 1. Back here in Detroit, ready to begin the 8th. Alejandro Kirk now at the plate. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
Well, at that velocity, if that's all you're seeing, 88, you can handle that all day long. That's what you get in batting practice. But off the velocity of the fastball, that is a very tough pitch to adjust to.
Torkelson takes it to the bag. First out in the top of the 8th.
Number 5, Dalton Varsho.
Dalton Varsho next up for the Blue Jays. And a 2-1 on the way. Swings through that one.
The pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge. Just changing planes and very difficult, especially for a left-handed hitter to track.
Got him. Out number 2.
Nice. Doubled up with the slider for that punch out. The one before just caught the zone. So as a hitter, you have to protect right there. Great pitch to just expand a little bit more. He got that chase he was looking for. That right there is good pitching.
And here is Kazuma Okamoto. He's done some damage. Launched a homer at his first at bat back in the 1st.
Yeah, that was a tone setter, no doubt. I mean, you can stomach an early solo homer, but a 3-run shot just doesn't go down quite as smooth.
2 down, nobody on. That one's in there. Now 1-2. A the middle, and that one handled. Tosses to first. That's out number 3. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Tigers 1. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th, Jimmy Garcia. He's been so good against lefties. Parker Meadows getting ready to hit. The Tigers in striking distance, but have some work to do.
Boog, it starts with the leadoff man. I need a good at-bat out of him right here.
That one fouled off. The 1-2. And a foul ball. He stays alive. Base hit. That was smoke through the infield. So a man on base to start the inning. Back to the top of the order. And now the DH, Gleyber Torres. The 1-1. Runner takes off. Pitch in for a strike. Go to second. Out of bounds. Safe. Man at second.
If you're going to get something going, this is the time to do it. You get the leadoff man on. Everybody's got to look over the shoulder and say, I'm just going to keep the line moving. Don't try to do too much.
In the dirt. Full count now. This one in the air, center field. Varsho in position. Brings it in. Runner tags at second, and he makes it up to third with one away.
Up next for the Tigers, the left fielder, number 31,
Riley Green digs in for a critical at-bat.
You have to stay disciplined in these at-bats. Try not to chase. A strikeout here is the last thing you want.
One away with a runner at third. Here, the bottom half of the 8th inning. Swing a high fly ball, deep left field. Going back on this one. Feeling for the wall, makes the catch and foul ground. He'll score the sac fly, and they cut the lead to 2.
Wow, pretty amazing. That only ended up being a sac fly. So much excitement and a great effort out there to take on the wall as he hauled it in. And for the batter, it could have easily been a double or even a triple, but you know what? He'll take the sac fly RBI.
New pitcher now for the Jays, Tommy Nance. 25th appearance of the year for him. And next up for the Tigers, Kerry Carpenter.
Well, Booth, got to find ways to keep this inning alive. They're in striking distance. Can't give up now.
Swing and a miss. Going to count 1-2.
Good pitch right there. Tied him up on the hands. If I'm out there on the bump, I'm going right back in there.
Lined into left center, and that should be extra bases. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Back against the wall with 2 strikes, but found a way. Now a huge at-bat in this game coming up.
And here's the first baseman, Spencer Torkelson. The tying run at the plate. Rolled softly, but that goes foul.
Looking very settled on the mound here in the 8th. One more out, and they'll probably hand it off to their closer for the 9th with at least a 2-run lead.
Swing, and he popped it up. Kirk gets there. He's under it. And that is the inning. A run on 2 hits, and they lead 1. Through 8 full, it's the Blue Jays 4, Tigers 2. Back at Comerica Park. All set to start the 9th in this one. Ernie Clement digs in now. Here's A.J. Hinch heading towards the mound. And we're going to see a pitching change right here. Framber Valdez won't go any further. And they trail as he exits, but he kept them close. A new arm will be on the mound after the break.
Now pitching.
New pitcher for the Tigers, number 75.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Tapper back to the mound. Sends it to first, and the leadoff man retired here in the 9th.
Up next for the Blue Jays, the designated hitter,
Davis Schneider, the next to hit. The 1-1. And that one is in for a strike. Good pitch. Got him. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 9th. Running out of chances to pad the lead.
Wow, just great bites. That slider broke hard out of the zone, and he just couldn't hold up the swing. You know, as a hitter, that pitch is really hard to take, and there's just not much you can do with it. You know that, but you don't want to get rung up by the umpire.
2 down, nobody on. Fouled off, and they'll do it again. Fights it off, he'll see another.
Also really good at bat. What I like about this guy, his bat stays in the zone for a long time. Gives him the ability to foul off tough pitches.
Popped up. And that'll do it. Down in order go the Blue Jays as they can't add to their 4-2 lead. Welcome back, and here comes the closer, Jeff Hoffman.
I think closer has to be one of the toughest jobs in baseball, and we see a pretty high turnover rate because of it. Every outing seems to be high pressure, this one included. We'll see if he can wrap up the win and get himself a save.
The 2-1. What a stop to first, and very nicely done for the out.
Up next for the Tigers, the third baseman, Colt Keith.
Colt Keith now at the plate. The Jays trying to close out a 2-run lead. We're in the last half of the 9th inning. Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
Well, so many hard-throwing relievers in the game these days. You would think that hitters have made the adjustment, but I don't know if you ever get used to it. Just pumping gas out of the bullpen. So hard to play catch-up.
And that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, a swing like that can help you come out of the struggle. We saw the numbers coming into the ball game, but all he's trying to do at this point is help his team win.
So digging in, Zach McKinstry.
Now, Boog, this is a real tough place for visiting teams to come in and close out ball games for a win.
Tying run at the plate. This one chopped on the ground, but foul. Hit hard, should be extra bases. The relay to third, the tag, and he's out. Can't get back in time.
Up next for the Tigers, the shortstop.
So it's their last chance in this one. Javier Baez up now for the Tigers. The Tigers down to their final strike. Swing and a miss. misses, and that's the ball game.
Sometimes road trips can be tough. You're away from your family, but when you can win, silence that opposing crowd, it makes things just a little bit better, makes the road trip just a little bit shorter.
And your final 4-2. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
Friend to bring a friend, took a girl from the podium.